Dear learned colleagues, I'm Cobus Kotze, Senior Aviation Medical Examiner and Occupational Healthcare Practitioner. We have compiled this short video to demonstrate how the medical practical flight test is conducted in a color deficient pilot, to demonstrate if they can safely identify the cues supplied by either visual or audio displays to safely conduct a flight after they failed the CAD test. This practical test consists of two parts. The first part is the actual flying test conducted in a Class D simulator, and for the demonstration purposes we made use of the Embraer 145 with display inserts from the Airbus A340 and Boeing 737-800 to demonstrate that they all more or less make use of the same visual cues. We've also edited some of these display inserts by removing the red and green colors to demonstrate what a deuteronote pilot would see under similar conditions. The second part of the test consists of the practical map reading test, where we make use of printed maps as well as digital maps to determine if this pilot can safely plan and conduct a flight test. In reality, this test will take 90 minutes to conduct, but we've shortened to 15 minutes, so please sit back and come and enjoy this medical practical flight test with us.
Okay, Henrik, just to put you in the picture here, what we have here is the primary flight display, and that will be the attitude on this scale, or the speed scale, and the altitude scale.
Right.
That's the compass as you know it, coming across the weather radar, and some system displays here, and on this screen also some system displays.
Right.
Alright, I want you to just, it's not a flying test, it will be just assess your colors.
Sure.
So as I said, I'll be flying and I'll be asking you questions. What do you see? And we'll take it from there.
Good.
Let's take a look at the reference speeds for takeoff in these blocks here. If you can run through the colors from left to right.
Good. That's a magenta. That's a light blue to me, and that's a white and a green.
Perfect. With reference to the speed tape here, we've got numbers. If you can just read the colors from the top to the bottom.
Right. That's 161, and once again a light bluish. 129 in a white. 128 in a blue, and a 128 in magenta.
Okay, perfect. And this number here, what color is that?
That is green.
Okay, perfect.
2680.
Yes, spot on. So Henrik, for the next test, we've introduced a oxygen leak. So on this instrument, that little arrow will move down, and as the pressure becomes below a limit, you'll have an oral warning, and that color of the indicator will change.
Okay.
Will you tell me when you see a color change?
Yes. That's it. It is now 370 psi, and it is yellow. Right, the pointer color is now red.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, Henrik, so after takeoff, I'll recycle the gear. As the gear recycles, those indicators will change color. And will you just call out when you notice the color change?
Yes, sure.
Right. Okay, let's go. You're cleared for takeoff. Okay, I'm recycling the gear.
Right, the gear is in transit. And we have a problem on the right hand main gear.
Okay, what color do you see on that square?
It's an orange.
Okay, good. Right, we have a warning here. What color?
It is red, and this is now also red.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Hendrik, we've introduced another landing gear snag. I will select the gear down. I want you to call the changes and the enunciations and their colors.
Yes.
Right, let's go.
Right, we have 3 greens.
Okay, 3 greens, that checks.
And we have a red
Warning.
message. Landing gear, lever, disagree.
Okay, so just to confirm, we have a red enunciation, landing gear, lever, disagree, and
3 greens.
3 greens. Now, do you remember the previous snag? We actually, when we raised the gear, the one gear failed to come up.
Yes.
What was the difference in the indication there? Can you recall?
One of the boxes was in red.
Perfect. And if you look here, the weather radar now is in terrain mode, and it's painting a picture ahead of us.
Yes.
Can you describe the colors that you can see there?
Right, here we got a light green, and it gets slightly darker until it's relatively, it's quite dark in this area, but yeah, it's a light green.
Okay, so that's green.
Yes.
That's a light green. You say it's a different color green.
Yes.
It's like, and this one over there.
That's a darker green.
Okay. The color of these numbers here.
But both green as well.
Caution, terrain.
There's a difference.
Caution, terrain.
Okay, you can see. Okay, there's a.
I can see
you
there's a
can
difference.
There's a difference. Okay,
Yes.
that's important.
Caution, terrain. Caution,
Right, let's
terrain.
get out of here.
Right, we'll go 30 degrees to the right.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Okay, what color do you
Pull
see there
up.
now?
No, that's red.
Pull
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Okay, Hendrik, we've introduced another snag. It'll be a flap low speed. It will be enunciated on that panel over there. The moment you see it, will you call it? And the color, please.
Sure. There's a flap low in blue.
And just above that?
That's amber, SPS advanced.
Okay, perfect. Hendrik, we've now introduced a pretty strong crosswind. Can you tell me what the track is and the heading that we're flying at the moment?
Right, the magenta bug there indicates a track of 3.5, and the heading bug is green. The bug itself is in a light blue, and that's on 047. This is 035.
Okay, perfect, spot on. Hendrik, I'm going to now make a cross-site selection. The color of those numbers will change.
Yes.
Please tell me when you notice the color change and the color to which it changes.
That is now changed, and it is a yellowish amber 360 cross side.
And now?
That is in green 360 cross side.
Okay, perfect. Hendrik, we introduced some TCAS traffic. Can you identify the traffic?
Yes. 1 o'clock.
Any description of the lights? What can you make out?
It seems like it's flying towards us from right to left, and I see a red light on what seems to be the port, the starboard.
Traffic.
Okay, and if you're looking at the
negative on the port. Port is red.
okay, yeah, port. Okay, okay. The light on the right hand side, what's its color? Red. Okay. If you look at the TCAS here,
It's a red.
Increase fly. Increase fly. Clear of conflict. Autopilot.
right, Hendrik, we are the next snag we've introduced is a yaw damper failure. It will be enunciated over here. If you can read the enunciator and the color, please.
Autopilot.
Right, we have an autopilot failure in red. Yaw damper failure in amber.
Perfect. Okay, Hendrik, we are now approaching the stall. As the attitude increases, the pitch limit indicators will appear on your instrument. The moment you see them, will you call them and their color, please?
Right, we have a green indication.
Checked.
It is now amber
Checked.
and red.
Okay, finally, Hendrik, we'll now be doing a ILS approach onto runway 01 in Cape Town. We are presently at 13 miles from touchdown with a slight crosswind from the right. Can you point out the airfield lights or the runway lights?
Yes, there's the airfield and the runway lights are there as well.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll fly the approach and we'll freeze the simulator at various distances, and I would like you to explain or describe to me what lights you can see and of course their colors.
Sure.
Okay, Hendrik, we're on a 10 nautical mile final approach. By looking at the parpies, would you say we are high, low or on the slope?
I cannot confirm the color.
Okay, but just can you make out a color of the parpies at all?
Negative. It's the same
Alright.
color to me.
Okay, fine. Let's take it a bit closer, see if it gets better. Hendrik, 7 nautical miles, looking at the parpies, what can you tell me?
I see them more clearly, but I can still not say whether they white or red.
Alright, Hendrik, 5 mile final approach.
No difference. I can see the poppies, but that's it.
Can you make out a color at all?
Negative. I cannot say whether they're red or white.
Okay, we Hendrik, 3.3 miles. Just give me running commentary of what you can see regarding the parpies and the runway lights.
Right, I think we're on the glide slope now.
What can you see? What are the
4 reds and 4 whites, and running rabbit is white.
We're now 2 miles.
Good. We're still on it. We are now too low. We've got 3 reds inside. Now we're back onto it.
And the threshold, can you see any lights? Can you distinguish any colors yet?
It's reddish in the beginning, before the threshold.
The threshold
and
light itself?
That's green.
200.
And the rest is white.
100.
Okay, what can you see?
Red lights towards the end of the runway.
Okay, tell me when you see any changes in the runway in the center line lights.
Okay.
What is the color of the center line lights now?
They're white.
And the threshold lights? Okay, compare
Red, right at the end. It's red.
Compare the center line lights to the runway edge lights. Can you tell the
Same
difference?
thing. No. I can see there's a difference, but I cannot see.
You can.
That's green and this is white, but I can see.
You can tell the difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Hendrik, map reading. We've got a map in front of us, area close to Pretoria, that has 2 flight training areas or danger areas. Can you possibly identify them? They're normally demarcated by red lines on the map.
It looks like a red line to me.
Yes.
Another one there.
Yeah. So indicate to me a road, normally red.
It's probably a road.
Because if I tell you that is actually a railway line, which is black.
Okay, I can see it's black. And a road you said is normally?
Red.
There is the road.
Great. Can you identify that color for me?
Which one? This one in here?
There's a diagonal line.
No. It's definitely not blue. It's either black or.
So show to me the blue line.
There's a blue line.
There's a blue line. Right. What color is that triangle?
It looks like red.
Right. And that dot over there?
Red as well.